My dear students, in the third session of the human eye and the colorful world, we will go ahead and discuss two major vision defects. What did we do in the previous session? We had a quick recap of the structure of the eye, the importance of the various parts. What was focused upon was the function of rod cells and cone cells, and we also learnt three important terminologies, which is far point, near point and accommodation or power of accommodation of the human eye. Now we are talking about two visual defects, right? One which occurs at the early stage in life, which is in your childhood or teenage mainly, and the other which occurs after 35 years of age usually. There are exceptions now, because nowadays our lifestyle has changed a lot. We spend a lot of time in front of the screen. So now the delineation or difference that this will occur only in this age and the other will occur only after 35 years has become obsolete. Anybody can become a victim of any defect of the eye at any age, right? Let us look at the normal eye. Normal eye, the image is formed on the retina. But we come across a new term here, which is myopia. Myopia is short-sightedness. Okay? What happens in myopia is the person is able to see objects which are nearby very clearly, but he or she is unable to see things which are far away. That is why it is called short sight. Even in English, when you say you are very short-sighted, what do you mean? It means you can think only about the immediate present or future. You are not able to visualize what will happen in the long run. So the same is here. Images from nearby objects are comfortably formed on the retina, but what happens to light or incident light from far away objects? What is happening here? All these three parallel lines indicate incident rays of light on the lens which is inside our eye. And where do the rays converge? We find that the rays converge at a point in front of the retina, here, right? Now, if the rays are going to converge here, is a clear image going to be formed of the faraway object? Absolutely not. So this is why a person with myopia is able to see nearby objects but unable to see faraway objects clearly, right? Now, why does this happen? The reasons are mentioned here. It occurs when the eyeball is long, which means the lens has become elongated. What is the effect? What did we study when we studied lenses? We studied that the longer the lens, the shorter the focal length, right? So when the lens becomes long, what happens to the focal length? It comes before the retina, it becomes this much shorter in this particular diagram. How do I correct it? Now, what do I basically want to happen? I want the image which is formed here to be pushed a little back and to be formed on the retina. Am I correct? Now, when is that possible? I have to separate these converging light rays to a little more distance, right? Separation means divergence. And which lens causes divergence or spreading out of light? Concave lens. So what do? I put a concave lens in front of the convex lens inside my eye. How do I do that? By wearing a spectacle, right? So people suffering from myopia are advised spectacles with concave lens in them, and this concave lens, as you can see here, has spread out the light rays, has diverged them, and now the image is again formed on the retina, right? So what was earlier the defect has been effectively corrected using a concave lens. Why a concave lens? Because I needed the light rays to travel a little further and then meet each other. And that happens only with a diverging lens, which is a concave lens. Okay? So this is myopia and its correction. Myopia in layman terms is also called as short-sightedness, right? We now go to exactly the opposite condition. The opposite condition is called hypermetropia. Hyper, we all know, is more than normal, right? So what happens in hypermetropia is, this is the condition I told you, which was significantly found in population above 35 years of age. What happens with constant use over the years? The eye lens becomes a little flattened or shorter, okay? And what's going to happen if the lens is becoming short? The focal length will increase, right? So, in this case, the light rays from nearby objects, okay, they don't form an image on the retina. Where are they forming the image, children? Here in the second part of the diagram. The image from a nearby object is formed beyond the retina, which is, way beyond, behind the retina. Because the lens has become shorter and focal length has increased. Okay? What will happen in this case? The person will be able to see far away objects very clearly, but the nearby objects will appear hazy or blurred. If you observe your father or grandparents without their specs, if they are a regular user of full-time specs, you give them a newspaper or a book, ask them to read, what will they do? They will do this. They won't keep it here and study as what you can. They will try to move it away and then they are able to read. Why is that? Because the light rays from nearby objects are forming an image behind the retina and they are suffering from a condition called hypermetropia or long-sightedness. So here the light rays are traveling far away. What should I do then? I should bring them before the retina, which means the light rays which are converging here should be brought back here. Are we correct in our understanding? Yes. So what should I do? I should converge them. Which lens does the work of converging? A convex lens. So what will I put? I will put a convex lens in front of the eye in the spectacles that I use. So when I put the convex lens, the rays after getting refracted by this lens and the lens inside my eye are going to form an image exactly on the retina. So the image which was before formed behind the retina has been pulled forward literally, right, and is made to converge on the retina so that the person can read objects or visualize objects clearly even if they are nearby. So this is hypermetropia and its correction. So, summarizing whatever we have learned till now for our own understanding and a quick recap, here we are looking at a normal eye. The object that we view, the image is formed on the retina, right? Now, those are depictions, the longer horizontal bar, longer vertical bar is the object and the shorter vertical bar represents the image. When we come to a myopic eye, which is short-sightedness, the same object which is far away, when you look especially at far away objects, the image is formed in front of the retina. So, we will diverge these rays a little by using a concave lens, right? As against exactly the opposite, which happens in hypermetropia, where the rays, incident light rays from a nearby object form an image behind the retina. Okay, and in this case we will converge the light rays in front of the retina by using a convex lens. I hope the concepts discussed till now are clear. Diagram practice, especially for the defects of the eye and their correction, is extremely important, not only from the exam point of view, but for all of us to understand practically what are the defects that could occur and how does the doctor exactly correct those defects. I hope this session was lucid and clear to all of you, and happy learning once you get back to your textbooks and go through the same things.
We've seen what myopia is and how it can be corrected. But what's hyperopia? In simple words, it's exactly the opposite of myopia. Hyperopia is also called farsightedness. In this case, the distant objects are clear while the nearby objects appear blurry. This is because the light is focused behind the retina rather than on the retina. As I say, myopia and hyperopia are exactly opposite of each other. So the cause of hyperopia is also opposite to the cause of myopia. This defect results due to the eyeball being smaller than usual. So the distance between the lens and retina is smaller than it should be in a normal eye. And hence the image of a nearer object is formed behind the retina. And just as myopia can be corrected using a concave lens, this defect can be corrected using a convex lens. The convex lens helps in focusing the light at the correct place.
Here we see a person who is not able to read what is written on the blackboard from far distance. In this case of myopia, parallel rays coming from distant object after refraction through eye lens forms an image before retina instead of on retina. Some people cannot see objects at a distance properly, but nearby things appear clear to them. So, this defect is called nearsightedness or myopia. This defect may arise due to two reasons: either excessive curvature of the eye lens or elongation of eyeball. The defect is corrected using concave lens and the final image is formed on the retina. Thus, using the corrective lens, the person is able to read clearly what is written on the blackboard from far distance.